This is Ron Zywicki of the David James Group, and I am here live at We19, our client, the Society of Women Engineers annual conference in beautiful Anaheim, California, where it's warm and sunny, and as opposed to back home in Chicago, where our colleagues are freezing their butts off. Today I am joined by Bridget, Tully, who is our Manager of Digital Media and Content. And Bridget, this is Bridget's first We19. Welcome, Bridget.
Thanks for having me, Ron.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So, Bridget, as I said, we are here at We19, this conference with over 16,000 women in engineering and technology. This is Bridget's first time at the event, as I mentioned. Bridget, what have you been doing here primarily? What was your role?
So although I usually manage the content for SWE, mostly on their blog altogether, I have actually been helping out with social media this weekend, as our social media manager has been pretty tied up with video work and video editing. So I have just been walking all over this massive convention center and trying to kind of capture the spirit and energy of the conference and what's going on here. I mean, it's massive, and there's the biggest career fair I've ever seen. And, you hear all about the 40,000 members of SWE, but to actually, and not that all 40,000 are here, but to see this many SWE members in one place, like it's pretty mind-blowing. So, just trying to keep my energy up and keep moving and get as much as I can and engage with people as much as I can.
So, when we do the marketing, we use themes like inspire and help people learn to lead and find their authentic self. Those are marketing things that we use to promote the client. I mean, it's rooted in truth. It's rooted in who they are. But, for you to sort of really experience what you've been writing about, what the agency writes about in real life, what's that like for you?
Yeah, so again, it's kind of just seeing all of this come to life. We've been behind the marketing efforts, and I know a lot of DJG staff have been to these conferences before, so you guys, kind of already know what goes on behind the scenes at these things. But for me, as a newbie to DJG, a relative newbie, I've been behind these marketing efforts and all of these emails that have gone out about the conference and these pushes, to get people to sign up. And, sometimes it feels very much like just very marketing heavy. But then when you're here and you see, like, now I guess I truly believe in all the messaging that comes out and how life-changing this event could probably be for so many people. And the career fair, like all the enthusiasm and energy in the career fair, and you're seeing people, interviewing young college students that are interviewing on site for these jobs, and this is their future that's happening here at this event. So it's kind of like these aspirational marketing terms. They're not just marketing terms. They're actually, they're a reality here, and they're things that are really happening for the attendees and kind of life-changing. So it's just really cool to see that sort of stuff come to life here.
It's cool, and this is my I can't even remember, 12th, 13th, it's a lot of conferences. And every time I come, it's still cool to see, and it's fun to see the attendees. It's fun to see the work that we've done from a brand standpoint come to life through the signage.
Yes, the signage everywhere. Yeah, oh my gosh, cool. It looks amazing.
Yeah. Did you see the walkway? We've got little flag signs.
Yes, it's huge. This convention center is like way more massive than I could have imagined. Yeah. And there's signage everywhere. Banners, like these huge banners hanging all over the place. So it's just so cool. Our relatively small team of designers, the stuff that they've put together, and to actually see it everywhere, plastered everywhere. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's fun. We had a fun story today. So we, to promote our conference for the Society of Women Engineers, their conference, we do on-site model shoots. So we have the theme for the following year already ready to go. We know what we're going to be doing for the next year. So while we're here, we do that model shoot. We have women who are members of SWE. They come in and we usually shoot 8 to 10. It's always a fun thing. Today, today, one of the models from last year, who is in this year's campaign, so she's in the signage right now here in Anaheim, she reached out to us and said, hey, could I get one of the banners that has my photo on it? And we're like, sure. So that's
awesome. Yeah.
You know, you do a lot of work for SWE as our client SWE, but you also work for other clients. Is there something, what kind of things can you take away from this to inform you as you're working on other clients or, other campaigns?
Yeah. So, I mean, as you just said, the bulk of my work so far has been for the Society of Women Engineers. But I know that we are working on some other big events for other clients. So, if I have the opportunity to get involved in those marketing efforts and work on those more, I think just kind of having a better grasp of association events or society events.
So has there been something here that just kind of surprising to you or something I was like, wow, that's just not something I expected?
Gosh, the excitement. Like, it's just, I know this sounds cliche, but like it really is, it's contagious. Like I was, they have this massive escalator here, and just passing, going the other way from all these guests, and they were just all like smiling and happy and talking and animated. And it's not, yes, there's a huge career fair and a lot of people are coming here for jobs, but like people are genuinely really excited to be here. And being at the keynote sessions the last few mornings, the audience is just so engaged and they're clapping and they're cheering. And it's not just like these heavy informational sessions. I mean, there are some heavy informational sessions that are going on, for people to really, really learn and get some professional development here. But overall, there's just like this really contagious enthusiasm and happiness. And you can tell that people are just really excited to not only be here, but like be back with these people that they've, grown these connections with over the years. So it's cool. A lot of people have the concept of engineering and STEM being sort of like this dry field. And it's just to see so many young, passionate people who are just so excited to be here, and older, passionate people who are excited to be here, some of which are retired and still just really passionate about what this conference is and what the society does. It's just cool. It's contagious in a good way.
So I know one of the things you did with Maxie, our social media manager, and also she does a lot of our video work. You guys were doing women on the street interviews today, walking around and just reaching out and interviewing attendees.
Yes.
Anything cool there? Anything you learned or just take away from that?
So we were actually trying to, SWE's coming up on its 70th anniversary next year, so we were trying to capture some people through the decades. So we were trying to find members who have joined, throughout, the society was formed in the 50s, so we actually did, coincidentally, as we were just starting to do this filming today, we saw Pat Brown, who's I believe the society's oldest member, or longest running member. So it was great to just get a short little interview with her. And she's still coming here. Her niece is involved now.
That's cool.
But yeah, it was, we interviewed some career fair exhibitors. So just kind of finding out, why they choose to be here and how they're involved with women in STEM, and, why, although they're probably at other conferences, why they choose to be at this conference and why it's important for them to have a presence at this conference. Yeah, just kind of learning about, there's so many different companies and disciplines and industries involved in STEM, and kind of just seeing that that diversity just even on the career fair floor, and there are just a lot of companies that are really passionate also about what the society stands for, and
So what do you think, from your point of view, doing those interviews, how does it help advance the marketing? What do you think that contributes to our marketing efforts, on behalf of SWE? But why is it important to do something like that?
Well, I think it's cool because these were very on the spot interviews. So it's not like we, gave people questions in advance for them to really plan out and think about. So it was really neat to get their just on the spot, spontaneous answers to these questions. I think we got like a lot of very authentic answers.
Okay.
And, whereas sometimes when we're preparing too much, we overthink things and we try to make things sound nice. And, and in a way, we often lose some of the really valuable insight or true feelings behind something. So I think it was cool. One of the participants that we were talking to, like her eyes started watering up a little bit when she was talking about SWE and how passionate she is about it, and even getting like the younger generation, with SWE Next involved.
Yeah.
So just kind of like seeing that, those spontaneous answers and reactions. It's difficult sometimes to come up with answers on the spot, but I think again, you just really get some good, true material, and that can even inform marketing efforts moving forward. There's some really good gems that can be pulled out of, some of those spontaneous answers and responses.
Bridget, you joined the David James Group relatively recently, and you did not come from the association world or a marketing firm that worked on associations like the David James Group does. That's what we do here at DJG. You came out of a large consumer organization, retailer, and it's a different world. So from your point of view, why do you think it's important that, SWE invested in bringing you on site to help with their marketing efforts? Why is it good that associations, bring an outside voice or bring their marketing professionals, whether they're in-house or not, to experience something like this?
Well, I think, people or staff within an association or within a society, not to say that they have one-track minds by any means, but you do sort of get, you might get caught up a little bit in your own line of work or what your efforts are at promoting, and it, might be difficult to step back and look at the bigger picture from an outside perspective because you're so ingrained in what you do, and day in and day out, this is your job and this is your industry,
right?
And it might be difficult to look at it maybe from an outsider's perspective or someone who's new to it. So I think just having someone there who has a good understanding of the marketing industry and what consumers want to see and want to hear, and sometimes that knowledge really does come from the association that we're working from. Sometimes that's incredibly valuable insight to have from the people who are doing this day in and day out.
Right.
But I think it's good to also always look at things from the consumer standpoint or the member standpoint, and kind of take a step back and look at the bigger picture of how it's all coming together and fitting together, from someone who's not in the nitty-gritty every day.
Okay. And then just as we wrap up, and I certainly appreciate your time here, you've been on site how many days?
I have, got here Tuesday night and it's Friday now, so
okay.
Yeah, only really 2 full days, I would say.
What are you looking forward to most?
Laying down in my bed tonight. No, this has been a really great, fun experience. I've definitely gotten my steps in every day, and I've been sleeping really well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to rounding out this next day. We just have one more day, I guess, of this, and just keeping the momentum going, and then enjoying the quiet afterwards.
Excellent. Well, speaking of the quiet afterward, let's wrap this up. Thank you, Bridget, for speaking with me. Again, this is Zywicki for the David James Group, and this is Stir and Tell.
Thank you.